Ozgul, who has already fought 4 professional titles. He's been fighting down at 140 pounds, now up at 147. He's 15-5. And Paddy Donovan unbeaten in 5 so far with the 3 KOs, and they've all been different kind of punches and stoppages. One punch knockout on debut, body shots, left hooks. He's got just about the lot. Really looking forward to seeing the latest instalment, but preparation far from ideal. Not able to go up to Dublin to spend all the time that he usually would do with Andy Lee. So been training like he did in the amateurs with his father Martin, who's in his corner tonight, and plenty of sparring with his brother and brother-in-law in the build-up to this one as well. So they've had to get ready double quick behind the scenes after that early stoppage, but they are ready to go. Let's welcome them to the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now ready to get going with our next contest of the evening. 6 rounds of boxing in the welterweight division. Please welcome our first boxer to the red corner from Hackney, London, Siar Ozgul.
Well, you know exactly what you're going to get from Siar Ozgul, and that is 100% application, energy, and he will give it a right good lash, no doubt about that. And he's been in with plenty of young talent, so this is no strange mission for him. Up against Sean McComb latterly, Anthony Yidget, of course, we know how good he's been. Sam Antwi, who's involved in our English title fight a bit later on. He is, however, moving up in weight, of course, and against a puncher like Donovan, that's going to make things difficult for him.
And please welcome his opponent to the blue corner, from Limerick, Ireland, Paddy, Real Deal, Donovan.
Well, he's got Andy Lee in his corner, he's got Bob Arum with his back and promotion, and he's got the looks that Bob spoke so highly of course, ahead of his pro debut. But what he also has, as well as the amateur background, is the skills to back it all up. And it's very, very early days. But throughout these early days of the journey, lots to like, appreciate, and in fact enjoy about the way Paddy Donovan has gone about it. We've seen some of the repertoire so far. I'm looking forward to seeing what the future holds.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Lee Eaton for MTK Global proudly presents 6 rounds of boxing in the welterweight division. Our timekeeper at the bell for this contest will be Phil Morris, and our referee in charge scoring the action will be Howard Foster. That is our officials. We are now ready to welcome our boxers. First, boxing out of the red corner. Tonight, he wears the black shorts. He weighed in at 149 pounds. He has an excellent professional record. 15 wins, only 5 defeats, 3 wins by way of knockout. Boxing out of Hackney, London, the former Southern Area lightweight champion, Siar Ozgul. And please welcome his opponent boxing out of the blue corner. Tonight, he wears the black and red shorts. He weighed in at 142.8 pounds. He has a perfect professional record. 5 wins from 5 contests. 3 wins coming by way of knockout from Limerick, Ireland, Paddy, the Real Deal, Donovan.
Here we go then. into the first round. I think that the template we can expect to unfold as Ozgul trying to close the gap, try to exert some pressure and try to get on the chest of Paddy Donovan.
And he's trying to stay nice and low there, isn't he, Ozgul, and whip that left hook over the top of that southpaw right jab. But Donovan there with a nice wide stance, can just sit on that back. That's a good body shot there from Donovan.
Ooh, was that a case of balance, or did he just hurt him with that left hand to the top of the head? He whips in a right to the body as well, already going through that repertoire.
That's lovely work there. The most impressive, he was a young man early in his pro career, and Ozgul, he hasn't got the physical presence that maybe he had at super lightweight, but Donovan doesn't panic. He's come right out at him straight away, and he's just stayed nice and calm, and using the jab and the footwork just to keep the distance. It's a good shot, good left hand there from Donovan. Needs more head movement coming forward here, Ozgul.
Managing to close the gap there. Again, he's whipping in that right hand behind the elbow, Donovan. I just wondered how, if the size maybe was going to be a big factor in this one. He's only been stopped the once, and that was very late on, wasn't it, in the final round, Ozgul. But of course, all of that down in weight.
You can see every shot that Donovan throws, there's an effect. Yeah, a little bit square-footed there, Ozgul, but again, still hit back onto his heels with that uppercut. So, it's a beautiful shot there from Donovan there. Just a little lean over the right knee there to throw that uppercut. A lead uppercut.
He's come out sharp. That is for sure, picking his shots.
But he also looks 2 weight divisions bigger
than
Ozgul.
Massive by comparison, yeah.
It's been a very hard first round here, hasn't it, for Siar Ozgul. Donovan there nice and sharp. See, there you go, that's that little step back there, just get a bit of distance and assess whether he's going to attack or take a move around.
Left hand to the body there from Ozgul. And then another of those right hands whipped under the elbow. That's a pretty hard round, that, for Siar Ozgul, for starters, just for starters. Well, we knew what to expect. Ozgul was going to get on the front foot and try and apply some pressure, but he found the space pretty early on, Donovan.
But every punch that Donovan lands with, I don't say they're seriously hurting Ozgul, but everything has an effect. You can't push any of the shots off. They're either knocking him off balance, making him re-engage again, or rewind and come back again. It's a very, very hard round, and he hasn't got that physical presence. He's trying to come forward, but he just hasn't got the size to push Donovan back. And what Donovan's doing as well, he's throwing that sort of uppercut bowler shot in. And if it doesn't land, it just means Ozgul, who wants to stay nice and low, he's having to stand a little bit taller.
Seconds out. Round 2.
Scheduled this one for 6. I don't think it's going to be too much longer before they're moving on to 8 rounders for Paddy Donovan, should he come through this. And of course, Siar Ozgul a couple of years ago went the distance with Victor Postel, didn't he?
I was there.
Former world champion, yeah. It was the fight after Postel had lost to Josh Taylor, wasn't it? Oh,
shot.
Whipped in the right uppercut and followed it through with a left hand as well. He is looking razor sharp.
You got a problem here also because he has to come forward. Doesn't have the hand speed or the foot speed. It doesn't have the physical presence to really worry Donovan, and also is not really the biggest of punches either. So Donovan doesn't feel under any pressure. There's no panic in his work, and he can almost invite Ozgul forward to set him up for that uppercut.
And that's exactly what he tried to do there off the ropes, as Barry suggested. So what can you do if you're Ozgul?
Well, you've got to, first of all, you've got to keep moving that head. You've got to, you know, make, oh, it's a good shot. Oh, catches Donovan there with a little sneaky right hand there, Ozgul. He's walking forward with his hands up, which, you know, is the right thing to do, try and block the shots, but the lack of lateral movement and head movement means that he's walking in straight lines, and it's easy for Donovan to set up the attacks.
They just teased the attack from Ozgul. Ozgul ended up head over his front foot, and he got clipped for his pains as well.
That's a good jab, lovely, really solid right hand there.
And that's good to see, Barry, isn't it? Because when you've got the kind of skill set that Donovan has, it would be so easy to look for single shots.
He's looking to load up a little bit here, but who can blame him? You've got a guy here right in front of him.
Yeah, he whipped that right hand again. The right hand to the body's been one of his punches, the uppercut as well, but I mean, I suppose it is teed up now, isn't it, for Donovan to look good. He just clipped there in response.
Yeah, good little left hook there from Ozgul, but then again just sat on the ropes and had to take 2 shots back there from Donovan. Again, I gotta say, he just looks so much bigger and stronger. Getting clipped now and again, but I just think he's not worried about what's coming back.
He's feeling this now, Ozgul. Definitely having a good blow. He's feeling this. It's been a hard 6 minutes. So there's only so much you can say for him, really. Tough assignment for him tonight as we move into round 3. Of course, it'd be about a year ago, wouldn't it, that in the build-up to the Wilder Fury rematch, that Paddy Donovan spent that time in the build-up training out there with Tyson Fury alongside him, getting sparring out there as well with the sort of Mexicans and the Americans. What an experience that the whole thing must have been.
It really is. And it just gives you that glimpse of a life that maybe that you always hope for, and then in theory it should inspire you on, push you on to really dig your heels in and train hard and dedicate your whole life to the sport, because that's what it takes to get to the top.
Oh, he just got clipped there, the long overhand left. Maybe just getting a bit sloppy. I suppose he can afford to, given the pattern of it so far, but you never want to get into little bad habits, do you?
Well, patterns are the funny thing. He's on top and in control, but patterns are the funny thing. They can change. If you take your foot off the gas too much and allow your opponent who's behind to get some momentum in his work, then the pattern changes it and it's not in your favour. So you just need to keep moving that solid right hand jab and setting those uppercuts, and just keep. At some point, you got to start pushing Ozgul back. I think that's where it might start to unravel here for Ozgul, if he can do that, Donovan.
There's little moments of defiance, isn't there, from Ozgul, as you'd expect.
He doesn't have the physical size or strength to really push Donovan back, and he doesn't have the weight of shot to trouble him.
He's starting to load up. I think he's really starting to look for the punches and the moments here, Donovan. You can see him working towards certain shots, almost winding up towards that right hook counter is one of them.
Just like to see Donovan maybe throw like a 3-4 punch combination and finish the last one. Not the shots of his are really weighty, but just get a bit of whip in the shot. I think that might be a little more success that way. A bit more effect there on Ozgul, because these shots are heavy and they're thudding shots, and they're hurting Ozgul, but they're not enough really to to make him start to wilt. I think a little bit of a acceleration in some of these shots might change that.
Another round in the bank for Paddy Donovan, having a good workout and getting the latest advice. Right, time now to check in with Spencer. Don't have too many problems scoring this, but what are you liking?
I'm liking the work by Donovan, but the thing is this. It's like he's putting his punches together really well. He's putting nice combinations in, but sometimes I believe that he's taking things for a little bit for granted because he's fighting a smaller man, and he backs up with his chin up in the air. If Ozgul was a little bit smart, he'd be trying to wing in a big left hook or a big right hook shot at him. But you know what I mean, Donovan is very, very classy, very, very skillful. A little bit of Pernell Whitaker in there with him. Really good fighter.
Thanks, Spence. Just in time for the next round, the latest instalment in the Paddy Donovan story, which is what it has been built up to be, and I think it's fair to say that's exactly how it's unfolding. Tough assignment this tonight for Siar Ozgul. Yeah, that's the one thing. There's been little moments, and there a wrestling move to get himself a moment's respite, but it's been a hard ask for him, Barry.
It has been a hard ask, but Spencer sort of made the point there. You know, taking your foot off the gas, as we already said, but you know, taking things for granted a little bit because he's the bigger, stronger guy with with all the advantages are in his favour, of course. But you know, what he's up against is a man who's tough, committed, and will keep trying. So he has to keep his foot on the pedal. He just has to keep making sure he's stamping his authority in every round.
He's tried that right hook a few times, not quite worked for him so far.
The problem you get with Donovan as well, we're judging him on his potential more than what's happening. Also, you know, he sets high standards, so whatever, if he's anything but stellar, we're almost going to criticise him for it. Well, that's the cross you have to bear when you're a talent.
And by the way, he said the same himself this week, Paddy. He says that he expects to look world class every time he steps into the ring. So he's putting some of that pressure on himself, or those are just the high expectations, the standards that he sets for himself.
See, he backs onto the ropes there, and I know he's trying to set Ozgul up so he can throw that either left uppercut from the southpaw stance or that straight left hand. But that's lovely. That's better. He should do it from where he is, though. No, do it in the centre of the ring. Because if something don't work, you've got an escape route somewhere. You put your back on the rope. It's always a dangerous game against anybody, because you only got two ways out, left or right.
Oh, that was a lovely moment. He didn't quite connect with that counter. Slightly got him there on the inside of the glove, but he is starting to go through it now. The shot's becoming heavier and a little more accurate all the time now. He's just finding a bit of space and maybe just slowing things down as well, picking his shots as opposed to the flurries. I think there's a little bit of blood coming from the nose, slightly misshapen that nose as well, I think, for Ozgul.
Well, the uppercuts to do that for you, and again that lead uppercut there from Donovan was a lovely, beautiful shot.
Oh yeah,
and they're soul-destroying shots, those uppercuts.
Oh, there goes another one. I think his nose is in a right mess, Paddy.
Still trying here, also, give him his credit.
As you'd expect.
Oh, he got caught there, got clipped with
that.
Yeah,
he kind of just backed off and just trying to throw a punch to keep himself in it, but the bell goes at the end of the round and there's blood all over the face of that marked up nose of Ozgul's. Well, what was the key to the second half of that round, Barry, would you say, for Donovan enjoying more significant success?
Well, no, I think just the fatigue there of Ozgul, so then Donovan can start pushing him back now. But again, with that solid right jab, I think they're going to call it a quits there. Martin Ball was in the corner. Looks like for me, seeing the replays here, Donovan landing some heavy shots.
Yeah, good call, Paddy, and that probably is a good call from the corner as well. He just starting to mark up and maybe getting a bit tuned up. He was just simply too big and literally too big a task for Ozgul tonight. And in the end, we saw some of the qualities of Paddy Donovan that have had people excited about him so far.
Yeah, all the advantages were in Donovan's favour, except for experience, of course. But he didn't allow Ozgul to make that experience tell. From the offset, he landed with a good jab. Because Ozgul was staying nice and low, he was throwing uppercuts, and even though Ozgul was trying to come forward and do what he does best and put pressure on you, he didn't have the physical presence, strength, and we know he doesn't have he could punch, but he's not a puncher. And I think for Donovan, you need a bit more strength and guile to do that. Going in straight lines and just trying to walk it back is not going to be enough. And Donovan, he picked the shots really well. Every now and again got a little bit too close, sat on the rope a little too much. We want to be too critical. But every shot you threw was with weight. The accuracy was very good. Those lead uppercuts were fantastic. And when he just stopped the guy who doesn't get stopped, who's boxed at a high level. So, again, what's that? That's his
sixth.
That's his sixth fight. He's going in the right direction, and he's going in the right direction at a rapid pace.
Right, so let's get confirmation of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of round 4, our referee Howard Foster has accepted the retirement from the Siar Ozgul corner. Therefore, your winner, and still undefeated, Paddy, the real deal, Donovan.
Yeah.